Where's the drums, Matt? Here. My tribal drums. We are Journals Out Loud. This is the part where I learn to say something that ends right now.
I've been out there wandering.
Hey. Yeah, I learned how to do it. We are Journals Out Loud, here with a cast of talented teens who are talking about all the stuff that matters. We've got Lyric.
Hey.
We've got Joshua.
Hey.
We've got Victoria.
Hey.
And Brady. And in the
other
guest chair playing the tribal drums, we've got Kenneth, who I guess is our guest tonight. Did you bring a clip? I hope you.
I love how
I heard
quickly we
you-
abandoned the
I
idea
heard
that he wasn't
you-
the guest.
Yeah, I heard you brought a clip. So we don't have an actual guest in the studio, but we have one extra panelist. So Kenneth is
We have
sitting.
one
it's,
Kenneth.
it's comfortable to sit with your feet on the floor, isn't it?
Honestly, gotta say, like, this is the most comfortable chair in the house.
Truly nice. Truly nice.
Fair.
These guests get treated very,
Very nice.
Very
And they
guestly.
get beverages, and they get.
When you're a guest on Journals, you get the toppest quality
Top.
of chairs
Toppest.
there are.
Yes.
Luxury.
We treat your ass
Luxury.
like
Diet
our
Coke,
own.
regular Coke, and comfortable chairs.
So I am Louise Palenker, and we're here to discuss things and stuff that happen to people and teens. And I couldn't get any more general than that, but I'll try. So Kenneth, what's your name? Kenneth. So Brady, you're excited about. Brady walks from room to room asking people if they've heard the word of Bernie Sanders, like he's an
Oh.
evangelist
Yeah.
for
Well,
Bernie.
here's the thing. We're coming up on an election season that is. I can only imagine, for some of the kids who are like this is their first election season that they're actually following. What must they think that elections in the United States are like? We have Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump who are like, the big news on both sides.
Well, anyone who grew up on roller derby is not surprised, and anyone who didn't is like, "What? This is politics?" Did Donald Trump just call someone a dumbass and say he wanted to punch someone in the face? Wow, politics is like wrestling. Okay.
But everybody else, they can't talk. South Carolina is known for being the dirty tricks state, and that's like
Ooh. Hey,
true.
So's Chicago, right? Vote early, vote often. So it's like America, right? People are going to try to pull stuff. All right, so anyway,
And
learn
pull
about
stuff.
learn about politics, even if you're not old enough to vote. Don't just parrot the opinion of your parents.
Yes.
Listen to the issues, read about the issues, and decide, well, if I were 18, who would I be voting for? Because that's good. It's a good way to learn about world events. We don't have Jon Stewart anymore to teach us about world events.
I
but
know. And
Hillary.
That's really what's missing from this year is
Right.
those shows.
Hillary.
Hillary doesn't have a show.
Are you a Hillary fan, Lyric? Really?
Oh, it's on.
But good. I mean, she's a woman and great, and she's been in the White House for a long time.
So we don't.
Interesting.
You don't have to go around and tell us who you would vote for if you could. But if you want to,
The White House is our
right.
home.
Because I don't think we should get into politics.
She's been in the basement.
But if
this
you
whole time.
wanted to,
Uh-huh.
raise your hand if you want to tell us who you would vote for.
Hillary.
So we have just Hillary and Bernie on the
Ben
panel.
Carson.
Yep.
I also have to go with Bernie on this one.
Okay.
I feel the burn.
Feel the burn.
Feel the
All right.
Do you feel the burn, Louise?
I am on the fence. I'm on a fence that lives between Hillary's house and Bernie's house.
Uh-huh.
You're sitting
And,
on the fence.
It's not as comfortable as Kenneth's chair.
Nothing could be as comfortable.
But I
as
will
this
get
chair.
there. I will figure.
Can you just explain really quick for the people, because I know that people are going to hear Bernie Sanders and the kids in the app are not going to necessarily know. Who
Oh, they do.
I know.
Wait, you
no,
should.
I know
see,
he
you
is.
should see them at
I know.
election time. They go nuts.
I
yeah.
get that. I
Go
get that.
nuts.
Yeah.
But like we
like
you know,
crazy.
why is he special this year, and why all the buzz for people who don't understand the Bernie Sanders buzz? Because he's a special candidate.
He's
you
special.
can't deny that.
He's special. And last night, Mr. Husband and I watched Trumbo, and I was like, wow, Trumbo's like Bernie. So watch Trumbo, and you'll, yeah.
watch Trumbull and you'll understand Bernie
understand.
Sanders.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so Cam Weir-Am 675 writes, I have been best friends with this girl since I was 4, but now I feel like we could take our relationship further. However, I don't want to do anything major in fear of losing a great friend. I don't even know what the first step would be because we already see each other, but they are just like, they aren't dates. I really would appreciate any opinions because I am so confused. So this guy is saying, does anyone know where I could find the exit to the exit ramp from the friend zone?
The exit ramp.
That made sense in my head. I'm sorry.
No, it was good.
Anyway.
I liked it.
Okay,
That was
so
very
Lyric.
poetic.
Josh is just looking at me like, it's sad, really. It's sad more than funny, actually. Yeah. Go ahead, Larry.
So I don't know. I think you really need to be sure that she likes you, because if you're wanting to be more than friends, but you really don't think she likes you back, then that could possibly jeopardize the friendship. I mean, if I had if I had a guy friend that wanted to, and we had been friends for a long time and wanted to have a relationship, and I did not feel the same way, I could feel that it might get a little bit awkward. But at the same time, if you guys have been friends and your friendship is strong enough that you know that even if you did say, I like you, it wouldn't ruin it, then, I mean, you just kind of have to weigh out the situation here. And I think just kind of observing, does she like you, A, and also, do you want to possibly risk jeopardizing the friendship? And do you want to, is staying friends more important to you?
All right, so let me ask you guys this question. When you're going from, say, age 11 to age 13, let's say, and you've known each other forever, what are some... This is the age at which people might go, oh, I think I like this person as more of a friend. And Lyric dropped her script once again, so it is a show. I got it. It's official. When you go from, say, age 11 to 13, and you get into that, like, oh, I think I might like this person as more than a friend, but you hang out with each other all day, any day. Anyway, are you getting this all on film, Justin? What are some signs that she's starting to develop, like, romantic feelings for you? Where you would know that you've got, like, a green light, proceed with caution, but still green light. Brady.
I think that, like, a lot of the times, especially in cases like this where you've known each other for a very long time and, like, you're friends and you have that bond, you can kind of, like, get into the other person's head because you know them so well, and you feel when things are escalating to the point where it's like, oh, we're both really excited about each other and, like, what these new possibilities are and everything. That's something that you just have to kind of, like, sense out. And if the conversations start getting a little bit more flirty in tone, then that's definitely a sign.
See, I think you can drop flirt bombs that give you like a place, like an exit strategy. So the flirt bomb would be like, you take a picture together and you're like, we look like we've been married for 70 years. And if she goes, ew, gross, well then,
if she goes,
oh,
ew,
yeah.
you're like my brother.
Right. Then, or you can say things like,
no incest, please.
You can say things like, oh my God, we'll probably be married one day, and if
Yes, exactly.
those are flirt bombs. And, like, how she answers doesn't destroy the friendship, but it gives you, like, a clue into her soul. Victoria.
It says he's been friends with her since he was 4.
Mm-hmm.
So
They met at a bar.
oh wow.
The sandbox.
Yeah.
In the sandbox.
It was really romantic.
monkey
We built
bar.
sandcastles.
Threw sand in my eye. That's when I knew.
That's what I knew.
I think
It was love at
If you
first sight.
I know that's probably not what he wants to hear, but I think if you just wait, it'll just happen. by
You'll know.
itself.
There'll be a clear answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always waiting.
I mean, I know
True.
that you want everything to happen like right there and then, but sometimes if you wait, it just happens better because then you'll know each other better and you'll grow up together pretty much.
They're already doing that.
That's
Yeah.
true,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
more.
Right. Having grown up more.
Yeah,
Yes,
and then
right.
they'll know their weaknesses and
I'm going to
strengths.
pass to Josh after this, but
Pass it.
maybe it'll be like you're friends and then you're 20 or something and then you're like, you've been here all along. Like, we've known each other for so long and I'm not having success in the dating life and you're not having success in the dating life, in the dating scene. And then you'll be like, well, let's get married and happily ever after. You're welcome.
Oh,
Okay,
there's an
there.
REO Speedwagon song that addresses this called The
Okay.
Search
Kenneth
is Over.
approves.
Or maybe it's Survivor. I don't know. But my point is, Kenneth, our special guest in the studio, Kenneth Rangel.
Me as a guest, I just want to say that it's just very straightforward. Once in the friend zone, always on the friend zone.
No.
Yes.
That's not true.
No,
Yes.
not when you go from age
Okay.
11.
Okay,
No,
no,
now I'm
that's
gonna
just
have to
my
step in.
opinion.
Kenneth,
I just have to say
When you
that.
go
It's
from
a very
like age
interesting
4,
opinion.
Well, don't
Well,
you
no.
want
Well, no,
Wait,
you
let me make my point. When you go from age 4 to age 18 together, the friend zone is an
Wait.
ever shifting locality.
Yeah.
I take
It
that
just
back.
Yeah.
is. I think it
Yeah.
is. You don't think it is?
No, because I've actually like gotten out of the friend zone, but I didn't think about that, and so now I was like, wait.
Oh, Lord.
Wait.
Why would you?
Exhibit A.
No, I
Josh.
was like,
Okay, so I actually can relate to this person in some ways. Like my best friend that I've talked about sometimes on the show, since we've been best friends from kids, we at this kind of age, we're kind of like, oh, well, maybe we are interested in each other. And-
Interested in each other.
wait, you're interested in
So-
Trevor?
Stop getting so tripped up by a typo of the mouth. Go.
That's
So-
what makes this show good. You know that.
So we ended up like, okay, let's try this, and it lasted like a couple hours, and then we
Whoa.
so
Wow, that's a short relationship.
so
No, that's really. That's
we
so
realized
long.
that like it was a lot of to do with at that age you're starting to realize like, oh, there's such things as boys, there's such things as girls,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're afraid of the other person losing that attachment to or a relationship with you. So it was like she was starting to become interested in other guys, and I was afraid of losing her. So in a way, like I misread that as actually having feelings for her instead of just caring for her and loving her as a friend and someone who I've known for my whole life. So I'm not saying that you don't care for this person. I'm just saying wait it out, like Lyric said. So
Lyric.
I mean, like, I have several friends that were just really close friends, and we, like, would never. We're just kind of we kind of were together for a little while, but it was like, then we were realized, no, you're more of just we have such a close bond that it's more like brother sisterly, and I wouldn't want to lose that because I feel like this friendship is stronger than what we would have if we were dating. And I mean, it's interesting because a romantic relationship and a friendship relationship, like if you're not kissing, like you're like, okay, what's the difference? And there's just like a feeling, you just have a feeling about the other person. So I think if you're having that feeling and you feel that that other person is having that feeling, then maybe go for it. But I feel like friendships last longer than relationships sometimes. So I don't know. Just check out your options and weigh them out, Kenneth.
Oh, okay. It's just to save myself from my previous comment. Yes, you can get out of the friend zone. Sometimes, this is just my opinion, girls, like, they don't really want to ruin friendships, and they feel like if they get into a relationship with you, that's just going to completely destroy the relationship. So your best bet here is just be the best friend possible. Tell her your feelings. If that doesn't work out, then just still being a good friend, and that will eventually work out. And if it doesn't, then you guys are still friends. Brady. Sorry.
I think that you can't get out of the friend zone, and I'll tell you why.
Where were you when I said that like
I'll
5
tell you
seconds
why.
ago?
Well, because you betrayed yourself, Kenneth. You went back on your own opinion.
I used to disagree with Kenneth. Now I disagree with Brady.
Yeah. Okay. No, but I would say, and I'm gonna offer up a different definition of the friend zone, because I think if you can get out of the friend zone, then the friend zone never existed for you all along.
This is my theory.
So I think that just different strokes for different folks, right? Everybody finds different people attractive, but I think that if you have a friendship with somebody and they don't find you attractive, stop it. You're not going to get out of the friend zone. And I'm just saying, because it's, in a lot of cases, this is true. It's like, what do you do when you have a really good friend and like they want to take it someplace? That's kind of almost on the friend who wants to get
I
out
think
of
it's
the friend
healthy
zone.
to let it go, but I also think it's a true thing that as people grow up, or as people even get to know each other better and find out what they want out of a partner in life, that then attraction changes.
It
now,
does.
You don't stand around hovering, waiting for it to change. You get on with your life, but it can change.
Yeah.
Lyric.
Helpful tip of the day, and yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Helpful tip of the day. If you want to move things on to a relationship, like a romantic relationship, say something like, even if our relationship as more than friends does not work out, I still want us to continue being friends. Because a lot of people are like, oh, we're friends, then now we're dating, and then after that, they're like, we're not talking again.
Your words cannot do anything, Lyric.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, because
it's like
That's
That
not
was
true.
a diss.
some
No,
people
but
some
true.
people need some space to get over heartbreak.
Not those words.
I'm not saying
Why
you
would
need-
you say that?
I'm not
Sorry.
saying like you should you should just talk right away, but I'm just saying you need to establish that you're still going to be friends, because you don't want whatever fights you had in a relationship to completely ruin a perfectly good friendship.
But you can't change what happens in a relationship, and I think that like once the relationship already happens, like no matter what you said before
I'm
the
just saying-
relationship happened, like it's the situations change. Like maybe something happened in the relationship that makes you not want to be friends with this person anymore.
Okay,
you know?
yeah,
Well,
but I'm just saying to set up a thing that is we will try to be friends after this, or it will go back to normal in some respect, or have a conversation. Don't just completely ignore each other.
We'll
but
never
yeah,
go
Josh.
back to normal.
It doesn't go back. It's different.
But I'm saying like
Yeah.
just not like ignoring each other unless that's what you want to
I
do.
think
Well-
that but I mean it depends on like how you feel after the breakup. You know,
and you can say to the person, I really love you, but I'm going to need to take a step back.
Yeah.
So it's not this like huff, and you walk off.
yeah,
like, all
that's
hurt.
well, that's what
But
I'm
it's
saying.
like
yeah.
I'm not going to be able to be in contact with you every day just because my heart is hurting and I need,
Yeah.
just be honest and respectful with your words. But I also want to establish, and I've said this on the show before, but it's still something that I very strongly believe, and that is like I know that when you want romance, you really want romance, and it feels like friendship feels like I'm a failure, I'm not lovable. But let's not underestimate how important friendship
course.
is.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
You're
yeah.
going to have a lot of friends
Especially like the opposite
and
sex
only
friends.
one romantic partner, if that, right? You're going to have a lot of people who are extremely meaningful to you. So let's not ever mark friendship as being second place because it just isn't. It's way
it's
too
first place.
That's
It's
actually
first
really well
place, man.
put.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
first place.
It's not
Friendship first.
The thing is that like I feel like people like get into interactions with people like not based on I want to be your friend. Like they go into it with the expectation that like, okay, I want to date with this person and I want to be like romantic with them. And then when that is shattered, it's like, well, I don't really have any, like I came into this wanting something that I didn't get. So I don't really want the friendship. I never wanted the friendship all along. I feel like that, I mean, that's kind of cynical, but like I feel like that's how a lot of guys feel when they're, because, that's why we talk to girls in a
Well,
lot of cases.
Yeah, I mean, people want what they want, but they also have their feelings hurt. So there's that. So there's like,
Yeah.
I'm not, cute enough for you. Oh, miss thing.
But that's your own fault when that happens in a way.
No, because we all do that. We all feel like, well, what's wrong with me? And we look in the mirror and we go, what's wrong with me? And I'm not like as skinny as this girl. And I'm like, what?
Right,
like we
I
all
understand
do that.
Yeah, but it's not the other person's fault if they reject you.
No, it's not. But it's this cycle, and so we build on it, and then we say, well, friendship means nothing. But I'm trying to remind everybody, like, friendship means everything, and romance is like it's intangible. Like scientists have studied it forever, and they've never been able to figure out what causes one person to romantically desire another person. So since no one can even measure it, how can you get mad at yourself or someone else for not feeling what you feel? Kenneth, are you dancing or just trying to distract me?
A
No,
little
he
both.
was copying.
No.
Aaron.
I was copying Eric because he was a little bit like, but I was just gonna say that a great, but a great, right? A great, just if he does get rejected and this doesn't work out, a great movie to watch is Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That is a very
Eat, Pray, Love.
Josh, that's like your favorite movie.
There's so
ever.
many. Wait, we should go around. Like, what are good movies about like romance? That,
Hey,
Oh.
see?
Titanic.
Okay.
There we go.
Eat, Pray, Love. Lyric what?
I don't know.
I'll come back to you, Victoria. A great movie with lessons about romance.
I don't know.
I'll get back to you, Brady.
Very adult, but I've been watching this new show Love on Netflix, which is by Judd
Oh.
Apatow. It's great. It's really good.
Is
Really
it?
good. Yeah.
Okay,
Really,
I'll
really
You
try
should
good.
watch the TED
And-
Talks on love and attraction.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good
You're
too.
welcome.
TED Talks are great.
Great
All right,
movies.
I'm going to recommend, and this is, you have to find this movie and watch it and get back to me. All Journalers, When Harry Met Sally.
Sure. Yeah.
The greatest. Moving on to the next question.
Billy
Smartina writes, who wants to read this? It's kind of long. Brady?
Okay. Smart Nina 0315 writes, I dated this guy, but my parents found out and we had to end it. He got a girlfriend and we stopped talking. A year passed and he started talking to me without his girlfriend knowing. He always brought up when we used to date and remembered all the details, like what we were wearing, how he felt, how he held hands. Then he would tell me that his girlfriend complained about everything. I recently found out that she broke up with him. I still have feelings for him. I haven't mentioned anything. I've just been supporting him. I don't know what else to do.
Well
All
put.
right, so You guys remember, this is like an update from a previous question,
Yes.
right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
does anyone remember when we read it? Or who was on the show when we had this
I
question?
mean, I was on the show, but I
Josh?
thought it was the girlfriend saying, "Is it okay for my boyfriend to be going out with someone else?"
No, it was this girl
Wait,
that was
is it-
like saying that this guy that she used to date was constantly texting her and saying bad things about his girlfriend and how they were going to go to a concert, but like,
Oh yeah, this is the
remember?
concert one.
And so now he's single. But we didn't like this guy when
this
he.
is like a TV
I don't think
show.
I answered this one.
We didn't like this guy when he was behaving this way while he had a girlfriend. So do you think? Does everyone remember the question, or should I review it?
I think we should fill
I
it
think we
in
should-
the viewers though.
All right.
Yeah,
So there
'cause
was a
I wasn't
guy.
here either.
There was this girl that wrote to us, and she said, "All right, so I used to date this guy, but now he has a girlfriend. Only he's always texting me and remembering every detail of how we used to hold hands and how we used to look at each other and how I used to make him feel. Blah blah blah. Will I go to a concert with him? And he wants to hold hands, but there won't be any funny stuff.
Yeah. I remember.
And we
Okay,
just
yeah,
all
yeah.
decided like he was shady.
Yeah.
Okay,
He
so
was-
now that guy is single. Thoughts, Victoria?
I wouldn't like entertain him
Ooh, I like
because, first of all, if they're gonna do it to someone else, then they're most likely gonna do it to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like someone talking about someone else behind their backs. They're most likely gonna talk about you behind their backs, behind your backs.
Right.
back.
I mean, you could say to him like, "Well, what's changed about you, and why was it okay for you to see?" Because
Yeah.
the thing is, most people don't say to the person they have a crush on, deal-breaking questions,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they're afraid if I confront him with my fear or with something about his behavior that is kind of unsettling, that he'd run, and that would be the end of it. Lyric.
I just feel like you should put yourself in the shoes of, remember, excuse me, how you felt when you knew that he had a girlfriend and you were, like, not really the side chick, but, like, kind of like this girl that he was kind of maybe liked. Think if another girl were doing that while you were dating him, you would hate that. So I think that just remembering that and then being like, do I really want to be with him now after remembering that? Kenneth.
Yeah, Kenneth. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy is extremely shady. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't think this is a good idea. He did this to his past girlfriend. He's gonna do this to you. Obviously, like the same thing's gonna happen. If you date him, he's gonna be talking about the girlfriend that he recently broke up, and he's gonna be texting her, and then they're gonna go to concerts.
No, here's the other possibility. Yeah, a lot of concerts. But the other possibility is that like he got himself into the wrong relationship, didn't know how to back out of it, and was still really interested in you, but didn't handle it well at all. Is it possible that he's still kind of on that learning curve of how you handle relationships, getting in and out of them, Lyric?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of sweet in a certain way. It kind of makes me feel a little bit like, wow, like he does really maybe care about you because, and this is kind of contradicting what I said before, but I mean, he was always wanting to be with you. While he had a girlfriend, he wanted to go to concerts with you. So maybe he does just really want to be with you. The thing is, I think you just really need to, if you're gonna date him, take it slow, because this is just still, even though maybe he cares about you a ton, it's a little bit weird and shady, like everyone's been saying.
Go
Yeah,
ahead, Victoria.
I think that she should wait and see if he actually dates another girl. Then that will show how he won't wait for you. You know what I mean? Like he will. Like he's easy to move on from someone else. You know what I mean?
So don't date him yet,
Yet.
but watch him date other people.
Well, like wait around, like see how.
Oh, be friendly. Don't just jump into a relationship.
Yeah.
Just say, because I think the
'Cause
thing
if
I
he-
said in the app was like, give this at least a month, like to cool off. He just got out of a
Yeah,
relationship and
Because that's way too fast.
Yeah, Brady?
It's-
I mean, she has feelings for him though, and it just seems to me like it's gonna happen, you know, because like he's an injured puppy right now. He got broken up with.
yeah, but should we always get exactly what we want the moment?
No, of
we-
course not. But I'm just saying that like you know the emotional bond here is like I think that it would be smart to wait and like you know until this guy is like out of his crisis mode and you know make sure that you're not a rebound.
Yeah, and you can even say that to him, like we can do stuff together, but let's just hold off on calling it dating while this situation heals a little bit.
We're right, but I think that he's gonna try to like you know make some move or something.
But if let's say she says that to him and he doesn't respect her, that's another red flag.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Lyric.
I just want to say, this may be slightly off topic, but it's the first sentence is, I dated this guy, but my parents found out and we had to end it. So it sounds to me like maybe your parents are a little bit not wanting you to date anyway. So
Yeah.
why date a guy and like really work hard from having to hide from your parents if you're not 100% sure that he's going to be invested in the relationship?
Because
Kenneth?
what if
Yeah.
back then she was 14 and not ready to date, and now she's 16 and
Yeah.
ready to date, and so he went off and dated someone else simply because she wasn't ready, but he just didn't handle it properly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Kenneth?
I just wanted to point out that I feel like no matter what we say, she's gonna. It sounds like we give advice, like we said how he was shady last time.
Right.
She still likes him. She's into
Yeah.
him, and I feel like no matter what we say, she's going to pursue it. And
Yeah.
if you're gonna pursue it, just pursue it with caution.
Yeah.
Well, she already
Josh.
dated this guy.
Victoria.
Oh, she called me.
It's Josh.
Um,
No, I just thought Victoria was like,
So I'm kind of not concerned, but I'm reading the end of the question, and she's using a lot of past tense. She's saying he brought it up, he would tell me, like things like that. So I'm thinking he's not saying those things to her anymore. So I also want her to look at the fact like she broke up with him after. Probably she found out about what was happening between the two of you talking. And that's what I said in my last time responding to you. Like, be cautious of how you're entering the situation as well. Like, maybe he doesn't want to be with you. Like, you don't know that. You want to be with him, but you did break up and you're no longer together, and he just got out of a relationship. And the fact is he could be viewing you as the reason why his relationship ended as well.
It could be complicated, but since the first time that they broke up was because she wasn't old enough to date, I'm giving them the benefit of having been really young and figuring out how to get in and out of relationships respectfully. Victoria.
Okay. Okay. So it doesn't say that it was because she was young. What if it's because they didn't like the guy or they saw something different? Because your parents can see things that you don't see.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
So what if it's that? Because it doesn't say that she was too young to date.
Right.
It just says my parents found out we were dating.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's just so much we don't know. So
Yeah.
all we can do is give the best advice we can give, but we're all kind of sensing that you're going to date him anyway.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just have to learn by doing. So just be careful, keep your eyes wide open, and protect your heart. Moving on to the next question from Little Man. I want to help a friend of mine that is cutting her wrist.
I think it's Littleman.
little man. A little man. This big.
Okay, this
I
girl's
want
cutting
to
her
help a
wrist.
friend of mine that is cutting her wrist and keeps telling me that she doesn't want me to help her, even though she needs it. What should I do? Is your hand up, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
There's a lot of equipment between you and
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. There's nothing that you specifically can do other than tell a trusted adult.
Yeah.
You can't help cope her through it. You can't really do anything. And honestly, like if your friend is doing that and like not really, and she's like telling you, it's also a form of attention, and she's not necessarily thinking about you in the friendship either. So she's not fully emotionally available for you as a friend. So I don't know if it's necessarily something that you would continue the friendship either.
Brady.
Right. I mean, yeah, I agree. This is just one of those things that, like, it seems to me like as time goes on, each new generation is like I've had to talk friends out of suicide before. That's just because, like, I feel like that's a common experience now. There's a lot of, kids who at least threaten it.
Yeah.
And it's something that there should be a class or something on how to deal with these kinds of issues, because I don't know, a lot of people who haven't had to at some point or another, have to deal with somebody threatening or, saying something about wanting to commit suicide.
Let's ask the room.
Yeah.
Self-harm or suicidal thoughts with
Kenneth?
friends or with yourself?
Oh yeah, I've had to talk to some people and tell them. Yeah, I understand exactly what you mean.
Right?
Yeah, like self-harm and potential suicide. I don't know if it was like your situation.
It's just that people threaten it, and it's like
Mhm.
it's something that it's a tactic that people use.
Anyone that you guys
I
know?
don't know if it's a tactic.
Yeah, Victoria? Yes.
It's just something that
Josh?
people deal
Yes.
with.
Yes. Lyric?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so no adults in your life are teaching you how to respond if a friend says something like that to you.
Well, I mean, I already know, just like from, I don't know, and it's helped. But I mean, I haven't had anyone who's been like right about to like go do anything harmful. I've just talked with them after maybe like they had, I don't know, I helped them, but it wasn't at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I just kind of like have picked it up from all over. I have other friends who have helped their friends through it, and I think it's just kind of something that you like just know how to help someone, and it just takes someone being by your side. It doesn't mean that you have to be like you just that someone needs to know that you're there and supporting them, and I think that that's the most important part is just that someone cares,
Right.
not so much that they're like you're so worth it and you're this and that. It's more like I'm here for you and I love you. And I'm like looking at Brady. I love you, Brady.
Thank you.
I love Brady.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
but I want to just say this for the record for everyone who's listening. I'm not a big fan of tattling. And I think that most of the stuff that kids do is just stuff that kids do. But so your rule of thumb is this. When a friend is damaging herself or others, it's not tattling. It's taking the situation to someone who is able to save a life, which would be an adult, not anyone within your age group. So self-harm, anorexia, eating disorders, suicidal thoughts, all of that falls under this category. Someone driving drunk, anyone who's going to harm themselves or harm others, you tell an adult. You simply report it. You can do it anonymously if you want to do it via a note and leave a note in a jar at the guidance office or what have you. But that's your only obligation. From there, you can say comforting things like Lyric said. You can love the person. You can say, you're worth it. We need you here on earth. Because those things, people do like hearing those things. And we get a lot of kids that write into the app and then we say, well, we can't have suicidal thoughts in the app because we don't know you in person. And it just brings on a flood of people saying, well, we love you. And then that brings on more suicidal thoughts. So it's always tell an adult who's present. Victoria.
It's not going to be tattling. It's going to be saving a life.
Right.
So it's a lot of times we think, oh, this person's going to hurt me just because I was trying to save them. But like,
They might be mad.
they might be
In
mad.
fact,
And-
they will be mad.
Okay, like, so what? They're going to be mad, but they're still here.
They're still here.
yeah,
and
you're gonna be.
they're
the one
mad
saving
at
them.
you, so that should be a plus to you. Like, they're actually, like, engaged with you. Like, they're, like, there. They're not somewhere else. So.
Kenneth.
I don't know. I just feel like if you're not asking for advice, you're not open to take it. And if she doesn't want you to help her, then it comes to a point where no matter what you say, she's not going to listen. So
You're not
that's-
qualified.
Yeah,
You're,
and
A,
so-
you're not an adult, and B, you haven't been through any training that therapists go through. So you're like the last person that's able to stop her from cutting, but you're the person who knows she's cutting. So you're like on the front line. Your job is to report it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
go
just saying, just leave the door open because sometimes people aren't ready for advice at that moment. But if you say you're not going to listen to me now, but if you need me, I'm here. And then also go to adult after. But just make sure that, don't be super annoying and keep going like, no, but you need to do this because people don't want to be bossed around.
They don't want to be. It also, it's not the therapeutic technique that works.
Yeah.
Because how would you, at her age, at her same age of the level of development, know how to cure something that is not only a cry for help, but also very addictive behavior? That becomes addictive. That releases endorphins in the healing endorphins in your body that go to the site of the injury or to go to your brain to calm you down because your body goes, oh, I've been injured, and it releases all these feel good. So that's why that behavior
Interesting.
that's why that
Wow.
behavior is
I
addictive.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I
I
didn't know
didn't know
that.
that.
That's amazing.
I knew it was addictive,
Yeah.
because people like the pain, but I didn't know that there were endorphins
Yeah,
involved.
it's a combination of elements, but Lyric?
I think this has gotten very serious because it's one level where someone's like hurting themselves, and then they're like able to take when someone says to them like, I want to help you and I'm here for you. They're like, okay. But it's another level when they're like, no, you cannot help me and like get away and I don't want help. I don't need anything. That's like even more because it's like they're really, really hurting. Like there's something deep. So this is the point when you need to go. I mean, you always need when someone's hurting themselves. It's just your responsibility as someone seeing that to go get them help if they're not able to go get them themselves. But you definitely need to go talk to someone.
If your friend fell off a ski slope, you would run for help.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're in trouble. So you run for help. That's all. Yeah. All right, next question. Who wants to read? Josh.
I met this guy, age 28, online. We met in person, and I had
28.
28.
I said 28.
Oh, I thought you said 20.
20.
20.
Go ahead, Josh.
I
You
wanted
met-
to make sure they knew.
Okay, cool. We met in person and I had a great time, but I'm 18. He said that he has never talked to anyone so young, but that I seem cool so we could talk and see where it went. A few days later, I texted him asking if we could hang this weekend. He said yes. I then said that I needed to know what time so I could make sure my room was clean so my parents would let me hang with him. He texted back saying that we wouldn't work out because we were both in different places. I'm confused and want him back advice.
Oh, I have to talk first. This is really important. This is my impression of the guy. All right? Huh. Well, she's legally an adult, 18, 10 years. Huh. But she's so mature, so it could probably work out. Then his friend walks in. She's 18, dude. Then she texts that she's cleaning her room. It's like, delete.
Of course.
So it's like, that was the trigger for him to go like, oh my God, she's a child. So it's like, yeah, he was trying to stretch his brain to make it work. And then his grown up self just went like, eek. Not eek about you, but like, because like, you are legally an adult, but he's 28. So he's not really get past the point where like, oh my gosh, it's a teenager. Would you guys agree that she can't get him back? Like, because he
No.
finally,
not at
well,
this.
his
well,
brain finally caught up with how cute she is in the picture and went, she's a child. Brady.
I mean, I don't know about that. Okay, I do want to say that I have a friend who is 18 years old, younger than me, dating a 30-year-old right now. It's
Right, but
common. It's common now. It's and not, that's not to say that like I think that every 18-year-old is at a different place in their life. You know, some are still in high school, some are in college. I had a friend who, you know, was in college by the time she was, you know, 17. It's a stretch. 18 and 28. That's a bad
he
stretch.
was stretching
I think
as
it was a
far as
stretch.
he could stretch,
But
and
it's
then she
happening.
said she was cleaning her room.
Okay, Cupid,
Then he
Tinder,
went.
Tinder doesn't care. 18-year-olds are matching up with 30-year-olds all the
I
time.
know, but if he's like a mature,
This isn't Tinder though. This
If
is
he-
like
if
the
he-
actual people.
look.
This is okay. This has got to be okay, Cupid, and they met online.
right? So his brain was trying to think, okay, she's 18, she's legally an adult,
Mm-hmm.
but 10 years is a lot when she's just barely an adult.
How
Like,
do you know that he's not gonna just like
She can't
can
even drink
She can
yet.
text him again and just be like, "Hey, what's up?" You know.
is it the she can text him? Is it the age difference? If she wants an answer,
Yeah.
But I think it's the age.
And that would be the mature thing to do, by the way.
because he at 28, you're into your life, you're into your career, you've got an apartment. You don't clean just a room. You clean your like, even if it's just a studio apartment, you call it your apartment, not your room.
This is a grown man. That's
Right.
just-
And
yeah.
so when she said, I'm cleaning my room, he just went, I can't date a high school kid. I just think that was like a red flag that went up.
Yeah.
And that.
And
even-
good on him. if
Yeah,
they
and
do
good
that.
on him. Exactly. Lyric.
And the reason why I was like made sure like that you said 28 was because I was like, if it were 20,
Right.
like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
not that much of a difference.
Yeah.
But I was like 28, and you know, we've had questions where it's like a big age difference, and it's not so much like it's illegal because this is
It's
legal.
not illegal. Yeah.
It's illegal. It's legal when you're 18 or over. You can date however old, but it's more like, and it's not even you've been through so many different life experiences, but he's almost 30,
Right.
and you're like not even almost. You're almost 20. I mean, that's just so. It's not inappropriate. It's just like there's just such a difference. You have almost nothing in common.
Right,
And
now
it's,
she's-
I think it's good. Sorry. I think it's good that he caught himself because it's good for you because he's like that. Like I feel like wrong dating someone so young.
What he wrote was like really mature. Really mature. He wrote, "We
Yeah.
are both in different places." So this is a guy who's
Yeah.
already got like his life kind of on a track, and he just suddenly realized that you're not going to be like up to his pace for like at least 3 or 4 years, and that you've got like hopefully college and things to go through. That he went through like 8. It's a plane. He went.
Oh,
I'm like, what's that
that was
noise?
the headphones.
Nah, it's Burbank Airport. He's just realizing like I don't want to be her dad, like, which is really grown up of him, you know,
Yes.
because you've got a lot of growing up to do. And later on, like if you were 30 and he was 40, like, you know, there are a lot of people that have a 10-year age gap that have happy lives together. Like my husband and I have a 7.5-year age gap. So, you know, because it gets less and less the older you get. Like, you know, if you're 90 and he's 100, it's like, whatever. Just kidding.
Brady.
But like, I'm sure if you're a 100-year-old
YOLO.
person dating a
Yeah.
90-year-old, call us about your age gap,
Yeah,
Brady.
that should be illegal. Okay. I just because this is a thing that is just going to be happening more and more because of OkCupid and because of all of these online dating websites. Like the interaction between the ages and the generations is like before. Like, where are you going to meet an 18-year-old? You're going to be going out as a 28-year-old man to college college parties, college campuses, meeting 18-year-olds. How does that even happen? But now we are closer together. We have more opportunities to meet with these people. So like, I mean, I have I can tell you that story about the 18-year-old dating the 30-year-old. I also have another friend. He's 30 years old. He was dating a 20-year-old.
But is he a mature 30-year-old?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that 18 and 28, you're getting into the territory where it's like, there could be a great romance movie made about this story if the love is really there. I'm just saying.
But shouldn't she go to college and get like a little?
But
She
it's
can do
not
that.
double-sided. It's not two sides.
Yeah.
She's the one who really likes him, but he is not. Now he's like, no, I
think
can't
he's
do that.
doing her a favor.
Yes, he's not reciprocating it.
Well,
Because
she
what
particularly is immature, though.
Let me ask you about your friend who dates a younger. Is it a guy who dates a younger girl?
Yeah.
Okay. Has the younger girl kind of like deferred all of her friends?
But here's the thing. She's 20 years old. She moved here from Missouri,
Right.
St. Louis, Missouri, to be an actress.
So are all her
she's-
friends his friends? Like
No.
who are 30?
No, she lives on her own. She has her own life. She's 20 years old, but she is an adult.
Okay.
She has a career. She's a model and an actress. She makes her own money. So, I mean, I think that, again, it depends on where you are in your life. I think that, an 18-year-old can be mature. It is better to advocate and be like, stray on the side of caution and be like, you're 18 and he's 28. This probably isn't going to work. But it's just happening. And are we going to, sit and say, like, this shouldn't
But it's
happen
not
every single time?
No, but
It
we're
is
telling
happening.
we're telling her that
No.
it's not.
happening at all.
Oh,
she's-
no. I mean, this isn't happening. I'm
Right.
saying that
Oh,
in
in
general,
in
it
life,
happens.
it happens.
No,
yes.
yeah,
It's
but
going to
like,
happen more and more.
I feel like we're getting to a different topic. I feel like the topic is that like.
I'm just wondering if it's right or wrong,
No, but she's not asking if it's right or wrong. It's
Well, she
just-
wants him back.
Well, she wants him back, but,
But
like,
it's not going to happen. It's
you're
not
not getting
happening.
it
back.
I think it
Not-
could happen. I think
Okay.
that's also where you
Can I
guys
say
are.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, what if she just waits? Can't she? What's
She
wrong
can-
Till
with
he gets 40?
waiting?
She can
It's
wait.
never
He's
happened.
30 and he's
No,
she's 30.
No,
and he's 40.
when she's at least maybe 20 or
Well,
something.
she can write him back and say, "Is it the age gap? Because I
Yeah.
like if
It
it
is
is,
the
can
age
I
gap.
Maybe when she
can I
moves
text
out,
you
or-
in a year?
Or maybe she does have her own apartment. Never mind.
She lives at home. She's cleaning her
yeah,
room.
she's like her parents
well-
won't let her go out unless her room is
Can you
clean.
imagine? Like, oh, that's my boyfriend. This is Chad. He's 28.
He's the same age as you, Mom. No, I would hope
Uh,
not. She wouldn't have you when she
So
was 10.
it's like when he realized he was going over to a family home, that's when he was just like, can't do.
Yeah,
I
well,
get it.
I think
Yeah.
also he might be nervous, like just in case the parents want to meet him, because then
Yeah.
that's gonna be like, okay, what's like,
How
you
old
know what
are
I mean?
you?
Like,
How
how did you
28?
find
Shave.
this dude? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He might be scared of that. So
Oh yeah, he completely freaked out once he saw the reality of you're a teenager. That's all that happened. It wasn't that he didn't like you and didn't think you were cute. He just played it all out in his head and he did a little freak out.
it's nothing
Can I
wrong
make
with her.
one more
It's
point?
just-
nothing wrong with you at
It's
all.
just it didn't work out.
Brady.
I just want to say that like I don't know if the net that he has caught himself in is as strong as you guys are making it out to be. And I'll say the 18-year-old that I know who is dating the 30-year-old,
13-year-old.
the 30-year-old is going back and forth all the time on whether or not it's okay to be dating this person. Like, it's a stressful relationship. You have to, like, if you're going to get into this, like, and the guy is thinking it. That's why he's not going for it, obviously. Because he thinks, oh, my God, like, I'm going to have to, be public about this. That's
yeah,
a
it's
tough
like
sell.
what do your friends say? It's also like she's at a certain level of maturity where things may bother her that wouldn't bother a 25-year-old or a 30-year-old. So it's almost like
But the thing
raising
is,
a child. And
Love is very strong,
Sure.
is the thing. I think that, like, if the emotional bond is there, too.
But it's not because he doesn't
You're
want
right.
to be
You're
with
probably right. Yeah.
I think what Brady's doing is he's moving forward into like, should 30-year-olds date 18-year-olds?
her. Yeah,
I
It's
just
the
feel like we
world
should
that we're
move
living
on.
in.
No,
And
but
we're
in
back
this
to addressing the
case,
I
question.
feel like we should probably
Like, it's
move
not.
on.
We should probably move
Yeah.
on.
Sure.
All right.
Like, wait. Okay.
So Victoria, do you want to read, or who wants to read?
No.
I'll read.
Victoria hates reading.
No, it's not that. I have dyslexia, so it's really hard for me to
Oh.
read. Yeah.
Oh.
Out loud.
I'll read.
Thank you.
I mess
Lyric?
up reading all the time too, but I got you, girl.
Lyric, we got you, girl.
My
Always will.
grandmother passed away in May. The thing is, I was very mean and rude to her and didn't like her because a few years ago she had a stroke and that made her partially paralyzed. Even though it has been almost a year, I still cry almost every day. I feel terrible for how I treated her, and I know that this guilt will stick with me the rest of my life, which is a pretty long time since I am 12 years old. How can I apologize and actually mean it? And what should I do about the crying?
So this question is really heartbreaking for me.
Yeah.
And I wish there had been some adults in your life that would have pulled you aside and said, it is completely unacceptable for you to treat Nana so disrespectfully. And one day you will deeply regret it. So grow up. She has had an accident. She can't do any better. She loves you. You love her forever and ever. Amen. Start treating her respectfully. Someone needed to save you from yourself. And I'm really sorry that didn't happen, because you did not know what you were doing. And now that you do know, you can apologize to her out loud in your prayers, wherever you want. And you should probably go and volunteer at a senior living facility
Yeah.
and make friends with some older people and
Atonement.
and thank your grandma for teaching you this beautiful lesson that people are people, no matter what happens to
Yeah.
them physically or mentally. Lyric.
What if, and I just want to say, this is so normal and natural of you to feel sorry about this. I mean, all of us sitting here, I speak for you guys, like, this is, if we were in that place, I mean, like, that's so hard. And I mean, that's actually pretty common. There are a lot of people who have been like done something to someone and then they pass away and then they're like, why did I do that? I'm so stupid. But I think that, the senior living thing, what if you also found some of her friends and talked to them and like learned about what she was like and stuff? I would hope she has friends.
Yeah.
But talk to your parents and be like, hey, can I meet with some of her friends? And then you'll feel like a part of her is there and you can all talk about how great she is. And that will make you like, she's looking down if whatever you believe in and being like, yeah, she cares.
You could also like interview them and make a little movie in celebration of
Yeah,
of
That'd
them.
be
exactly.
cute.
Yeah.
Celebrating life, not
Right.
celebrating death, because that's what will help you to feel better.
Brady?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is like that's a tough situation because the guilt that this person must feel. You know, I feel like this person's probably going to be, nice for the rest of their life, because when you do something like this, where there really is no, like, you can't say sorry to your Nana anymore. Like, the person you wronged is gone. And for a 12-year-old to be dealing with that, like, 12-year-old kids do stupid things all the time,
You
and you
need
can't.
to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
Not just your grandmother, but you really need to forgive yourself.
Kenneth.
Oh, I just wanted to say, because my grandma passed away, and the same thing happened where, like, there were things that I did that I felt terrible about, and that feeling never goes away. You're always going to feel bad about that. But the thing is that, like, even though, you don't have to have a religion to have prayers, and just to be like, where, like, if you're anywhere, like, I am so sorry. And honestly, I know it feels like, oh no, she's never going to forgive me or any of that. But, like, it's going to be okay. You're going to get over it. Just remember the good times that you had, and because there definitely were,
She may not even remember good times. Like, if she's only 12, she may have been really little when her grandmother suffered a stroke, so she may not even remember what her grandmother was like in her actual personality. It would be great to look through photos or videos, if your parents have them, of what her personality was like before she sustained this injury. Victoria?
Well, also, she will forgive you because, first of all, she's in a better place. In the better place, there's always forgiving. So
Yeah.
there's nothing to worry about.
Oh, I love the way you said that.
Yeah, that was really
really
nice.
good. All right, our next question is from Anonymous. Is it weird that I get annoyed at my boyfriend? Sometimes it's when he's being super lovey-dovey, or when we are texting, or even when we are just together in general. We have been together for 2 years. Lyric?
Girl, I got you.
Yep.
Okay. I completely see how you would get annoyed because I get annoyed when people are nice to me sometimes too.
I'm sorry.
Like if my parents are nice to me sometimes I'm like, stop. And like that's not a romantic relationship, thank God.
Okay.
But like
I understand what you're saying.
Thank
It's like
you.
sometimes you're just not in the mood for people
no,
to be
I'm
nice
yeah,
to you.
exactly. And it's like when you've been with someone and you know you see like people are like been in 2-3 year relationships and they're fine, but maybe you have a little bit of like something that they get you like completely annoys you about. You guys have been together for a long time, so you may have little weird pet peeves when they act a certain way, like being nice, that get you annoyed because you know each other so well.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think that's completely understandable. Don't feel bad.
Josh.
Yeah, I agree exactly with Lyric. Like, it isn't weird that you get annoyed with your boyfriend, and I mean, you've been together for 2 years. He's obviously going to do something that's may cause you to have some sort of an emotional reaction, but it is a choice that you have to make. Like, you have a choice whether to get annoyed or not, or to remove yourself from a situation that is annoying you, or even just communicate that to him. Like, this is really annoying right now. Please stop talking. Like,
Well, okay. So it's sort of like when my sisters just want to hug me all the time.
Yeah.
I think it's just because we just get bored.
I mean, that's family though.
But still, it's the
That's
same
why I said it's not a
thing.
romantic
Necessarily
relationship with
family.
my
They're
parents.
still family in a
necessarily
way.
family.
So I want
right?
to say that 2 years into a relationship, you're past like that whole love high. That you know,
Yes.
how long does that last? Like a year, maybe. That love high, where because
Like where it's exciting and like, oh my
yeah,
God.
where you can't stop thinking.
Then
about
you're
the
like
person,
used to the person.
and then what
Oh.
real love is like after that love high kind of like drains off, and you're left with this just feeling of home and family and heart and comfort and being who you are and being loved for who you are. But it's not ever as exciting as when you first fall in love. It's not meant to be. And so you may be over this guy and ready to date someone else, or you may just be like coming face to face with what love feels like after the high wears off, which is the day to day. And that's going to happen because it just does. And that's what marriage is. So this is what that looks like and feels like. So kind of get used to it and be sweet. Brady.
Yeah, I mean, it could be what marriage is. It could also be the sign of the beginning of the end.
That's just it. That's why I don't know the difference. So I'm just trying to give her like what the options could be.
It's
It could
interesting
be-
that the difference isn't very clear because like
Yeah.
I think that you know if this isn't like you know, you could be annoyed by specifically what he's doing, or you could be annoyed because like you know you have other issues with him and
you're just
like,
not in
this
love with
is
him
just-
anymore. And
Yeah.
it's run its course.
I mean, like, you know, if he's being super lovey-dovey to you, that might be because, like, you don't love him anymore, and you feel
You've turned away,
uncomfortable.
kind of.
Yeah,
So
because
he's, like,
it's
trying more.
uncomfortable to be like, you know, I love you so much when, you know, they're, you know, you don't feel it, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's throwing it all your way, and it's
But
like,
see-
I don't feel the same.
The reason I say it could mean that that relationship is coming to the end is because like they're not at the age where they're ready to get married, and this
Of
is
course,
why
yeah.
you date different people to see what's the best fit for you.
And
So,
2-year relationships happen all the time. I mean,
yeah,
you
2
know,
years is a
it's-
long run for a kid.
It's a long run, but it's like also not like a long run. It's like kind of a mid-sized run for any, you know, like a normal
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
Victoria?
Victoria.
Okay. Okay. So, gosh. Go ahead.
Joshua.
Okay. My turn.
I'm actually gonna agree with Brady.
Oh!
I'm like, wait, what?
However, I do want to add that
Ring the bells.
Bing bong, bing bong.
However, I do want to add that we're being very hung up on the super lovey-dovey when she also had added that it's also when he's just texting her regular and also when they're just together in general. It's
Right.
not just when he's being super lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
So it's even leaning towards more of like there is some underlying issue that she's not dealing with
That
and she's trying to cover up. But he also knows that, which is also another reason why he's trying harder.
Yeah.
So there's something that you're not dealing with that we don't know about that you need to take care of.
And you can have a conversation with him, you know,
Yeah.
where you're just like, I just sometimes need some space. You know, like, let me miss you. Lyric.
I'm gonna let Victoria go because she's waiting. But then I'll go.
Victoria.
I think she might think that he's a little bit clingy
See, you're reading right between the lines. That's really good.
because
Ooh, but
she's saying that he's texting her a lot. Maybe that's like what Josh said.
Yeah.
I think it's because he thinks that he's not trying hard enough. He wants to impress you. He wants to make you feel loved.
Right.
So
you have to talk to him and say, like,
Yeah.
I would love you
Like-
more if you
Well,
texted me less.
why don't you tell him like you can tone it down a little bit.
Yep.
I mean,
That or she's a little bit embarrassed sometimes.
Or she doesn't know that these are things that you can't communicate within a relationship about. Josh.
I'm gonna throw it to Lyric right after.
Mhm.
Just a quick point, like it doesn't actually say he's texting her a lot. It just says when we are texting. So it could be like one text a day and she's still getting annoyed.
It could be.
And so Lyric.
So I feel like you need to first go, I need some space. You need to start with that. And then if after he's giving you space and then you see him after like a month, you haven't seen him for a month, and then you see him and you're like still really annoyed, then you need to like go into yourself and be like, do I really want this relationship to continue? And if you do, then you can start building back up the relationship and giving effort, because he's been putting a lot of effort into it. And don't say, I want to take a break for a month. Just say, like you said, let me miss you. I need a little bit of space. And then if after that, just take it from there and see how you feel. Josh, I guess, and then Brady.
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with you now. So
Oh no.
So like
Do you
if
ring
you're
the
in a
bells?
I know. Right? If you're
Ding
in a
dong.
if you're in a relationship, you're not talking to each other for a month. Like that's not a relationship whatsoever. And the fact is like if you're saying I need some space and you need a month for yourself,
Maybe not
That's
like
not-
entire
Okay, I don't know
space,
about
but like less clingy. For
No,
a
I
month.
just mean like, okay, you can text or whatever, but like just make your request. So whether it's I don't want to see you for a week or something, or like if you hang out every day, be like, let's just not hang out for a week. I don't know, tailor it to you, but I'm just saying whatever kind of space you want, say that. I was just using
well,
that as an
honestly, the
example.
issue here is what she's making his actions mean, not him.
Right.
Like she needs to deal with what she's making what he about herself make it mean. Like
Oh
it-
yeah, definitely.
So
But what if she just asks for what she would like? Like thinks about, well, how would
Yeah.
this look for me to look at it and feel better about it? What would I need? And then ask for that, Brady.
Yeah.
See, there's like a thing I think that happens. Very experimental theory that I'm about to put forward. But when one party in a relationship like is starting not to feel it anymore, that I think can tend to create a reaction in the other side, which is like, oh, I really love you, and I'm like I'm gonna start heaping all this affection on you so that I can bring you back, because like there used to be like this good equilibrium of like both of us sending back and forth, and now it's just me. So now I'm panicking, and I'm like, oh, I really, 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 really love you. And if you ever left me, then I would do something drastic or whatever.
Yeah.
Not saying that he's doing that, but I'm just saying that like the lovey-dovey feelings can like that's a symptom of sometimes.
Right. So if the relationship were going long term, if they were a married couple, we'd talk to them one way. But
Yeah.
since they're probably 16-year-old kids, I'm saying it may be time for you guys to take a break from each other, because then sometimes you really realize what you had in the person when you date other people and they're nowhere close to being as amazing as this person, and then you like value them more. So
But do breaks work, or is that just a fancy way of
they
saying
don't.
if
They
you're
don't
supposed to
break up
wind up
with you.
together, they work. If you're not supposed to wind up together, then they work because you both find other things to go and do.
if a girl told me like she needs a break, I would just be like, okay, you want to break up with me right now?
that's a
Like,
valid
that's what you're
point.
saying
But
to me.
I know a lot of married couples that got married after a break. So it depends.
I think
on,
breaks are a thing of the past. I've never seen one work
because
at
you're
all.
you're only 18. Like you're not
Uh-huh.
old enough to know that. Like if you go to like age
Are
20,
breaks things?
yeah. Like if you when people get ready to get married, where the girl's just like, okay, if you're not going to marry me, then I'm taking a break. Then the guy's like, I'm really not ready to get married. And then like, Matt, talk about your life. You're a grown up. Do breaks work?
Sorry, there we go. I genuinely think that if you hit the point where you want to break, you're probably ready to move on.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah, Matt agrees.
Kenneth,
I just wanted to agree with
Bells.
Ding, ding.
Josh was saying, what you were saying. Like honestly, it doesn't sound like it's working anymore. If after at the 2-year mark, that's when you realize if you want to continue your relationship with this person or if you want to end it.
Oh,
And
I don't know if that's true.
No, the
That's
2-year
not
mark.
like the
No, because that's when the honeymoon phase
regulation.
ends.
Yeah.
I mean, at least at our age. And
That's
like,
true.
if you're like done with the honeymoon phase and you're starting to get annoyed when he's love you, like when he's practically breathing at this point, like you can't be with him in general. You can't text him. it just doesn't sound like it's working out at all, and I just feel like you
But
should probably end it.
I still would like to make the claim that a break, if you really took a break where it was like not a break but we broke up, where you would then realize that, oh, he was the greatest guy I'll ever date, and I let something good go. Then you would then if you were meant to be together, you would appreciate him more than if you hadn't taken that break.
But sometimes there's those nights where you're having those thoughts, and then you're like, oh, okay, and then it's not supposed to take that long. You know, like if you come to the point where you're like, I'm gonna have a break, that means where you're like if you're ready to have a break, you're practically ready to break up.
Right. But then you can go like 2 years realizing you've never met anyone who got you the way he got you, and then you could hit him up on Facebook and be like, are you still single?
That's kind of selfish, though.
No, it's not. That's just life. It's like growing up and realizing what you need and fine-tuning it and comparing it to other people that you've gone out with. Lyric.
We have to end soon, but
Yeah.
I think
1 minute.
if you can, I think that you do need to try taking a break, and just because you will know if after that short break, if you still have those feelings of not wanting to spend time, then you know for sure that you're not going to want to be with him.
that you were over
But I
him.
think that if you kind of make it like a test of what it would be like without him, and then you're like, this is great, I love being single, then break up. But if you're like, man, I really miss him and I miss him being that romantic, then it's a good relationship. I think just testing it out, I don't know. But yeah.
Victoria?
She could also be like, you know, like when someone likes you and you kind of like don't like them back, and then once they stop doing what they're doing, you kind of like, what happened?
You miss it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
maybe
you're addicted to kind of like being loved, but not actually him.
Maybe she just feels like she just wants to talk about how my boyfriend's like this, da 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 da, and then, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it anymore.
No, you're explaining it really well. I think she needs to just say to him, like, look, I'm kind of feeling overwhelmed and I need a little bit of space. And then if he says, are we breaking up? You can answer the question however you feel like see how the conversation goes. See how it makes you feel like, ooh, like sometimes you're just like, the person is like, does this mean we're breaking up? And you're like, ooh, I have a chance to break up. And you'll go for it because that's actually what you want. So start with the conversation, and that will lead you towards what you're really thinking and feeling. But thank you for being with us. I know you have a wonderful thought, Kenneth, but you're going to have to save it for next week. And Fannel, if you're
That's not
listening to
gonna
the show,
happen.
there's 3 really good questions that we didn't get to this week.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, those are really good ones. So we love you, and we will see you next time. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a good review
Thank you.
on iTunes.
Bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Journal's taking a break.